So we're going to be analysing the work of Cardinal Walala here. I've got this on a program called Procreate on my iPad, and I thought this would be a good way of showing you. So analysing, well, that basically just means having a look at something, really studying it closely. And the first thing that I can see here are that she has decorated it with geometric shapes. So geometric shapes are things like circles, squares, rectangles, triangles, that sort of thing. Nice, even mathematical shapes. So we can see on this building here that she has circles, she's got some triangles, she's got loads of different kinds of stripes. Some of them are thick stripes, some of them are thin stripes, some of them are even diagonal stripes. And here she's done the stripes even getting thinner towards the top of that column there, which I think is quite interesting. And we've also got this sort of distorted area here. It makes you think the building is getting lower towards the back, doesn't it? So there's this sort of distortion. She's playing tricks with our eyes, which is something you might want to have a go at. And above those stripes going downwards there, she's got this area of flat colour, which is just pink. Now let's analyse what kind of colours she uses. Well, I see primary colours. So what are the primary colours? They are yellow, blue and red, of course. But she's not just using primary colours. She's got some secondary colours in there too. So I can see green, which is of course made up of yellow and blue. And I can also see pink, which is sort of white added to red. And she's also using black and white. So I want you to choose a similar number of colours. I'll leave it quite free for you to decide yourselves. I've used actually quite a lot of different colours in my version on my demo video. She's also signed her name there, I can see. Now, one thing I wanted to come back to is this idea of flat colour. You can see that within her colours, she doesn't have any tone. So you're going to also achieve this flat colour, but you're not going to scribble. If you're just using felt pens, that's fine, but what you need to do is make sure that you are colouring it in so it's all the same tone and there's no scribble marks. So you can see I'm trying to do it here for you on my iPad with my Apple Pencil. I'm trying to make it really, really, really neat. So no kind of scrappy, scribbly, white gaps. The other thing we've got to think about is, well, we're representing our building on a two-dimensional flat surface. So look at this zebra crossing and see how, although you know that those lines are all parallel with each other as you walk along it, when we see it, this is one-point perspective, classic. It's all those lines are going to a vanishing point, aren't they? So you've got to make your patterns go to a vanishing point. So I started colouring mine in here. This is the finished version. And we are going to move on to this time-lapse video, which goes quite quickly, so believe it or not, I slowed it down. Now you can see what I'm doing is in pencil there, I made some guidelines that all went to that vanishing point on the side on the right there. And that was allowing me to draw my lines really neatly, because when you do horizontal stripes, they're all going to go to the vanishing point, either on the left or the right, depending on which way that particular surface is pointing. And you can see on the side there I just did some checked pattern as well. So I'm basically just every single surface is getting a different pattern and a different colour. I've done rather a lot of colours on mine. I think maybe I should have restricted it to about 5 colours plus black and white, but it sort of depends on what you have available. And I got excited because I was using my Tombow felt pens and my, what are they called, Pro markers, which are for interior designers. You can see my other design underneath. I actually had to trace it to get another copy, but I'm not expecting you to do that. And you can see this really distorted green side there. I'm going to put some pattern on it. I think I'm going to do some circles, but of course they're not going to actually look like circles because they're so distorted from the angle that we're looking up it at. I'm doing it in pencil first so that if it looks funny, I haven't made a disastrous mistake. Now I'm going to go over it in pen. But it's so distorted, it's hard to work it out. But I'm just doing basically 3 rows of sort of circles which have got really elongated because we're seeing them in from such a strange angle. So have a go at circles as well. So the rest of the video is just me finishing this off really. I would say that if you don't have any colour at home, if you do have colour, use it. Whether it's felt pens or paints or coloured pencils, those would all be great to use. But if you don't have any colour at all, that's fine. Just work in pencil and do patterns like stripes, dots, whatever you want to do. But you're just going to have to do it in pencil. And the main things I want you to take away from this are flat areas of colour. So if you're colouring in a large area, please don't scribble and leave white gaps. And number 2 is any of your what would have been horizontal lines are needing to conform to the laws of perspective. So they have to align to a vanishing point, whether it's the left or whether it's the right. You've got to make them go to the vanishing point. So I've called them horizontal lines, but they're not actually horizontal. They would just be horizontal if you were facing them, if that makes sense. But that's why you need your ruler. Okay, any questions? As usual, please ask your teacher. That's me or Miss Jones. And hopefully you'll have lots of fun with this. And I would like to see some buildings that are really decorated. I'm not expecting them to be quite as complicated as mine, as I did spend more than 2 hours on this, so I got a bit carried away, but at least you know how to do it now, and it just takes practice. So don't feel downhearted if you haven't got it immediately. It just takes practice. Maybe you could practice over the summer. Go back and watch some of the tutorial videos. Alright, good luck, have fun.